What happens when a man realizes he isn't a husband but a silent business expense? What drives a tech mogul to trade his empire for a cold isolation and a social media queen to trade her life for a lie? In the high-stakes world of digital influence, the most dangerous thing you can do is fall in love with your own filtered reality. On a freezing night in Seattle, Washington, the flashbulbs stopped, the lights stopped, and a permanent silence replaced a marriage built on a transaction. This isn't just a story of a domestic tragedy, it's an autopsy of a billion-dollar betrayal where the cost of perfection was far higher than anyone imagined. Welcome to True Crime Frontier. If you love stories that twist, shock, and leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about family and betrayal, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with your fellow mystery lovers. While you're watching, tell us where you're tuned in from. Drop your city or country down below. We love seeing the True Crime Frontier family checking in from all over the world. This story doesn't start with a crisis in a penthouse. It starts with a double tap on a screen, a lonely developer's obsession, and a woman who learned too late that some transactions cost more than money. Julian Vane first saw her on his phone, March 2016, a Tuesday afternoon. He was 42 years old, sitting in his glass-walled office in Seattle, scrolling through Instagram while his back throbbed with the familiar ache of a spinal injury. 3 months after the car accident, 3 months after losing the steady use of his legs, 3 months after his partner, Elena, told him she couldn't be a full-time caregiver, that's when Sienna Blaire's post appeared on his Explore page. She was standing on a balcony in Santorini, silk dress fluttering, gold jewelry catching the Mediterranean sun. The caption read, "Don't look back, you're not going that way." Julian understood algorithms. He'd built a billion-dollar software firm, but this monetizing of aesthetic was foreign territory. Still something pulled at him. He sent a DM, "Your branding is impeccable. If you're looking for a seed investor to scale your reach, let's talk." She didn't respond for months. Then in June 2016, Sienna went live on Instagram mentioning she was dreaming of launching a luxury wellness app but lacked the dev team. Julian sent a high-value badge during the stream. Her eyes went wide. "Julian V, you're a legend. Thank you for the support." Sienna Blaire was born into a struggling family in a small town in Ohio. By 12, she knew her presence was her currency. She didn't want to be a local girl. She wanted the world. By 26, she'd moved to LA and undergone a total transformation, all investments to build a brand that looked elite but left her bank account overdrawn. When she finally met Julian in his Seattle mansion, she saw the custom-built tech, the private chef, and a man who navigated the world from a $47,000 motorized wheelchair. Julian didn't want a trophy. He wanted to build a legacy. He funded her skincare line, her high-rise apartment, and even cleared her father's debts. But there were rules. She never tagged him in photos. They rarely went to public events together, and they didn't discuss forever. By January 2020, Julian reached a breaking point. He proposed with a rare blue diamond. Sienna, terrified of returning to the life she escaped, said yes. They married in a private ceremony on a secluded island, no press, no tags. The truth was simple. She didn't want her lifestyle brand associated with reality of her husband's life. The marriage was a cold, high-tech fortress. Julian lived in the East Wing running his firms. Sienna lived in the West Wing filming day in my life vlogs for 500,000 followers. By 2024, they were ghosts in the same machine. The resentment grew like a virus. In June 2024, at a charity gala Julian sponsored, he tried to take her hand for a photo. Sienna yanked it back, whispering, "You're ruining the shot. Stop being needy." That night, Julian realized he was just a server hosting her life. On July 3rd, the final confrontation happened. "I never said this was a romance," Sienna told him. "You bought a partner, Julian. I'm just fulfilling the contract." The evening ended in a way no one expected. When Sienna returned from a solo spa retreat, the tension that had been building for 8 years finally snapped. Julian, the man who had built empires on logic, had run out of reasons to stay silent. The encounter was brief, but the consequences were permanent. The woman who built a life on being seen by millions was finally confronted by the one man who refused to acknowledge. Julian Vane was taken into custody in 2025. Sienna's Instagram became a digital shrine, her glamorous life exposed as a calculated transaction. There are no simple answers. Julian was a man who thought equity could buy affection, leading to a devastating end. Sienna was a woman who traded her soul for a digital feed. Both were trapped in a prison of their own making long before the sirens arrived. If you're the person giving everything hoping it'll be returned, or if you're the person taking everything while giving nothing back, let this be your warning. Get out before resentment becomes unmanageable. Hit that like button. Subscribe to True Crime Frontier and ask yourself, what are you trading for your online image, and is it worth your reality? Stay safe. Pay attention to the red flags. And remember, the most curated lives often hide the darkest secrets. See you in the next